picture of you, sir?
You look like you do this for a living or something. Are you studying it, or what are you doing?
Studying it.
That's a damn nice camera, man.
Yeah, it's my uncle's. He passed away. It's old school film.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah. Where are you going to school for then?
I go to school for engineering.
Oh, so this is like an expensive hobby.
Yes.
Where are you going to school for? What kind of engineer?
Computer.
Oh, shit.
And Colorado State University. That's where I live. So.
Good luck with that, man. That moves so fast. I'm an old fart. I have a hard time, dealing with the tech, but as the leaps it takes, I can't even imagine.
Yeah. It's I don't know if it's for me just yet, but.
What do you think of artificial and robotic technology?
I don't really like it.
Yeah.
I don't like AI. Much as I read up on it and see people who are forerunners of it talk about it in a negative connotation, it's kind of daunting to think about it going that way, especially for an engineer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be making something that's probably going to end up replacing me, kind of thing. So.
I've talked to guys out here that are doing that.
Yeah.
And I've asked them, have you ever thought about what the hell you're doing?
Yeah, it's
I mean, aren't you? And their answer typically is, well, it's going to happen regardless. Someone's going to do it.
Yeah. But I'm young. I don't want that to happen to me.
No.
At least until I'm done,
Well, these other guys are relatively young, too. I mean, maybe already into business. They're already doing it, but they're still late 20s and stuff like that.
So what's your name, actually?
Mike DeBerry. It's on the back of this get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton.
BadassUncleSam.com. You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah. I film a lot of my encounters out here.
Oh, nice.
Because I think this is it, man. I mean, nobody does this. It's like he's talking to people on the street. It's like this is where the real deal is. This is where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah, especially all walks of life come through New Orleans.
Exactly. You've been here before that.
My mom and dad met down here, and my brother lives here. So we all came down for Mother's Day weekend to visit. So I've been here like 3 or 4 other times. But I always love it. It's just...
I call it the home of the alcoholic Peter Pans.
A lot of those. I mean, I turned into that when I come down here.
Oh,
yeah. Might as well. It's everywhere. You can take it everywhere.
But we do well. We don't make much anything else. So, yeah, man. This is all my work. This is how I cope with the insanity.
The insanity of the people that you encounter, or in the world itself?
In the world itself, and the people I encounter.
I was about to say,
because again, we cover all spectrums out here, This is like a talk show radio without the walls.
Yeah.
And I like it because I never really know them. I've spoken to some people out here. I would have never had an opportunity to meet any other way.
Yeah.
And then, people, other guys that they got a few drinks in them. They're not, they're sort of like, they're away from the office.
Yeah.
And so I can hear some things that you normally wouldn't hear.
Yeah.
But then it's just this. It's getting people to talk from different spectrums, from all ideologies, and trying to find that common ground, because we can always do that, because what they want to do is this.
Yeah.
It's the old divide and conquer. It's the oldest trick in the book. And that's all the social engineers have been pushing on us for years now. But I find out here it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. In New Orleans especially, it's sort of like, it's like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the weather, maybe it's because everybody's drunk all the time. I have no idea. But, just the close proximity of people and being able to, work and play and live together. So,
Yeah, and it's crazy because I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, originally, and I live in Colorado now, and it's like a completely different world there. Very progressive. Marijuana's legal, and it's very blue.
Of course.
But then I come back to the South with that mindset of living out there for the last 5 years, and just see the key differences of being out west. And it's always eye-opening coming back home,
Well,
especially
traveling.
because out there there's not much diversity. Not just African Americans, but Mexicans, Asians, none of that out there. Hi. And this is my Lady Madeline.
Hi there.
Hi.
My Lady Madeline.
Yes.
I'm Badass Uncle Sam.
Nice to meet you.
Indeed.
I was just talking to him about
about coming out here and trying to talk to people and see if we can get beyond the bullshit they try to feed us, and maybe get somewhere with our lives without them interfering with it.
He has a YouTube channel, and
I've actually made national news out here with some of the conversations I've had.
Of course.
Speak to a lot of professors and military and police, of course, and be a magnet for them. And just across the board. That's
Lock her up. I bet you get a lot of very opinionated people.
Well, for the while you've been here just a few minutes, you notice this. Most people just ignore it. Mm-hmm. It's happy. Most people, don't want to get into an argument. They're here on a vacation, and they see me. Politics. No, they don't want to think, because I think it's another thing they don't want us to do is think. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of like floating around with a turd in their punch bowl, and I come out here and say, hey, sorry, you got to think. I mean, this is happening, folks. Wake up. Look out. All the crap they're telling us is crap. They're getting ready to snap the trap. They don't need us anymore because of artificial intelligence and robotics taking up the jobs. That's why I question it seems I see people feeding into their own destruction. I mean, letting in, giving just an example, letting in illegals to come here when we know that the last thing we need more guys like you who are going to be in the tech industry, the new jobs that are coming in, who are going to have that adaptability. Mm-hmm. We don't need any more low-wage workers. So, there's no need to bring them in, and then, because it's called Cloward and Piven. Back in the 60s, they asked these two political...
Y'all can go on without us.
We'll catch up.
We'll catch up.
Yes, won't take long. Two political pundits. If you were going to bring down Western civilization, America, how would you do it? Mm-hmm. Well, you can't do it militarily because, it's too strong.
Yeah.
So... Well, what you do is you start brushfire wars everywhere, these little brushfire wars. And then you create a lot of refugees, a lot of enemies. And then you play on the host country's guilt, and you open up the borders to these people and allow these people to come in that'll clash with the culture and overwhelm the welfare system. So you bring down that host country, inside economically.
Oh.
So does that sound like what's going on?
Partially.
Partially, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So, that's part of the plan to do, because the whole deal is to form a one-world government. They need to bring down nation states, and in order to make everybody dependent on a centralized government, because they're going to come in like, here, we come to save the day, we'll take care of you. Here, everybody gets a check for doing nothing.
Yeah.
Just, you got to do this. You got to listen to us. And, of course, what they'll do with the technology is that the same thing they're doing in China right now. If you're not a model citizen, you get a few points taken off your citizen card. Then maybe you cannot travel, or maybe you can't have that job. Mm-hmm. So, it becomes a credit score on your,
person.
Citizenship.
Thank you. And
so
that's where
how do you feel about people that are here already getting kicked out? Do you think that still is the same?
I think on a case-by-case basis, we have to look at this.
Okay.
If you're here, you're contributing you've started a business, you've never been in trouble, and all this, and it would be a serious thing. Okay, but you have to pay a penalty, maybe you go through the procedure like everybody else does to become a legal citizen. But if you're just here, to say, hey, like in the news yesterday, New Jersey is passing a law where illegal immigrants can get free college tuition. Well, what about the citizens? Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're a hard-working person in New Jersey and you're struggling to put your own kid through college, all of a sudden you're finding out you have to pay some legal alien that didn't go through the process so he can go to school to do what? Take your kid's job?
Yeah.
So my question would be, in that instance, why not just make public education free in general? Like, why not make free college?
Well, one,
for
nothing is ever
everyone?
free. When you say free, someone's got to pay for the books and the teachers and the.
Free, I mean, why not say, okay, so we're going to tax those people that have billions of dollars,
Amazon,
that don't pay their taxes, and we're going to take that money and use it to send everyone to college.
It's a very nice, and believe me, if we can get away with doing that, all science, that's fine and well. But everything comes with a price, okay? If you're going to have state-sanctioned, paid for free schools, you're going to have state-sanctioned education, which is the same thing that's going, the same thing that's going to lead you back into decentralization of government, because they're not going to teach independence.
Yeah.
They're not going to teach that. They're going to say, well, remain with the state.
Yeah.
Remain with the state. It's all free. Just remain with the state. So it's coming with a price. It always comes with a price. So the good mix is, of course, is to have people that cannot afford it. You would have. I went back to the day I did. We had, state colleges or junior colleges you could go to.
Or even like a community college.
Thank you. Or even trade colleges, because not everybody's cut out to be a computer expert or whatnot. One of the biggest things I hear out here, because the first time in American history, right? Anybody that wants a job right now can find one. The problem is, when I'm hearing from people that own businesses, none of the young people want to become a crane operator or learn how to work the machinery, which pays good money.
It does. Trades pay well right now.
Thank you. But they can't find them because, everyone wants to become a computer millionaire. They want to get on YouTube or, Bitcoin or whatever the hell it is that keeps you from doing real work. Mm-hmm. So we bred a society that, we got half of the country right now that's on the government dole. I mean, first thing this morning as I was speaking to a group of college kids, and this group of cars came by. We don't like Donald Trump. I said, why? Because why? He's taking away the food stamps and the welfare. Yeah, but he's giving you jobs. You got a choice between, like going out there and having some dignity and actually earning some money now because you can find a job. I mean, I don't care what it is. You go out and find a job. You can go out and go to a trade school. If you get a job 2 weeks, you're making $50, $65 an hour doing something. So you can find a job. So, but we've bred a class of people that depend on the government. So why would you work if you're getting a check from the government? And then you're basically slaves to the government. You've bred another slave class. I
think part of it too is that when you have people in the middle class, when they're getting laid off, they're not wanting to go work the jobs that might require them to go back to trade school or require them to.
I don't find that to be true.
Really?
No, I don't find that at all to be true. I find people that work for a living. I've done it. I've taken lesser jobs when I had to just to pay the rent.
See, I see a lot of people that will say, no, I'm not going to work that job because I'm above that. I don't need to do that.
Well, again, that's something you breed, that's been taught and bred into.
And so they're happy. They're going to say, well, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to stay on the government's dime, and I'm going to wait until I can get a job.
I'll give you something even worse. Even worse. This happened about a year ago. I'm out here. A little 9-year-old kid comes up, right? Nice kid, smart, asking me a lot of questions. I'm doing the best I can, to answer a 9-year-old some complicated things he's asking. Then he pauses and he looks at me and he goes, can kids get checks from the government? I went, well, that's an odd question to ask me there, young man. I said, why would you ask that? Because my best friend, his mama says for him to act stupid in school and he'll get a check from the government.
That's fucked up.
It doesn't really work like that.
Well, it does, because that's where we're bred. We've got an entire class of people that have been brought up on government welfare checks, and they've learned how to game the system. And
yeah, I agree. I think that that's also a problem.
Yes, a big problem.
Yeah.
And so why again would we bring in people that basically have a 6th grade education from other countries, low skill, to do the work, take jobs away from Americans? Now we need immigrants, but we do not need unskilled illegal ones. We've got enough jobs for everybody. Every American, again, that wants a job could go get one. But because we bred a mindset of, why should I work? I can wait for the check. That's just the opposite of where we should be. Everybody should have the self-respect to have a job and to earn their own way in their own life, their own living. But
what about the dreamers, like kids who didn't choose to come here?
Again, case by case basis.
Yeah.
And I feel for them, but a lot of the times I also feel like, all right, you came over here illegally, fine. We gave you a free education. Now go back to your own country and educate them. Take this education back there and use it there, because most of the people I met that are from other countries truly love their original country. They'd like to go back there, and if it were better conditions, would live there. And I don't, because I've been to Central and South America. It's beautiful countries. I mean, I'd move there if there was some of the governments weren't as screwed up as they are. I love the people, love the culture. I like it. It's great. It's a great way of living. No snow, So again, these things have been bred into us because over time they know that there's going to be the demographics dictate that there's going to be too many people to feed, and there's not going to be enough workers to feed them. And then the collapse happens. And it's always order out of chaos with them. They come in, they create, it's called problem, reaction, solution. They create the problem. They could take 40, 50 years to do it. They wait for them, boom, for the explosion to happen. They control the reaction, and then they come in with the solution. Oh, don't worry about it. Step right into these FEMA camps. We'll feed you. Of course, it'll be GMO food. And before you come in, roll up your sleeve. Here, that little shot won't hurt you at all. It'll kill you in about a year or two, but don't worry about that. So, this is what their breeding is into. This is what they're looking forward to. They don't need us anymore. Henry Kissinger called us the useless food eaters. They're coming useless food eaters. I asked a Harvard professor out here one day, he was in economics, what's going to happen in the next 10 years with the economy because of this? And he says, well, 50% of the people you see walking around will be out of work. I go, what are we going to do with them? He looked at me cold, and he said, in the past, we've killed you.
It's true.
I mean, why are they forcing us to drink fluoride in the water, poison vaccines? I mean, there's no regulation on vaccines, for crying out loud. You can't see the pharmaceutical companies. Look at the opioid addiction we got going on right now, coming from the pharmaceutical industry. I mean, they want us dependent on them. They want to drain us of our wealth and our health. So we can't protest them and find out what's really going on behind the scenes.
Do you think this is just America, or maybe?
Oh, no, it's worldwide. Yeah, this is a worldwide revolution. Absolutely. And a worldwide awakening to what's going on. Because when you read, you look at, the Illuminati is real. The deep state is real. The Club of Rome, the IMF, Bilderberg Group, these are real entities. These things exist. And if you look, these are the people that are interchangeable. They're, the same bloodlines that go back thousands of years. They were the ruthless people that gained control of all the resources and said, all right, we're going to control these resources and have false scarcities. Gas should be 10 cents a gallon right now.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Matter of fact, there shouldn't even be worried. We should have free energy. Tesla technology 100 years ago exists. We can draw energy out of the air. It doesn't cost a dime. You buy the machine, that's it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with this guy about how we went from, especially in my lifetime, being in my mid-20s, from the first computer ever to a computer in my pocket right now. But cars with gas have never changed.
Thank you.
Like, we should be driving
Yeah.
we definitely should be driving more efficient vehicles.
Ludicrous. After 150 years, we haven't come up with something better than the combustible engine.
Now you gotta, if you want those cars, if you want the cars that do less damage to the environment, you have to pay through the nose for that.
Yeah.
Those are the more expensive
And those
options.
people are jumping through hoops, Teslas.
And which brings up a whole nother hoax that they put us in, which is climate change. Out of all the gases that are in the air, the one thing they pick as the enemy is what? CO2. Why?
Because everyone breathes it. I mean, well, we produce it.
Thank you. So it's the one thing they can tax us on. They can into it. You have a carbon footprint. Ooh. But I've asked guys that are allegedly experts in the field this question, and they didn't know the answer to it. Percentage-wise, how much CO2 is in the atmosphere right now? Any given time, how much is in the atmosphere? Because if if you say there's too much of it, we have to know what's the right amount.
Yeah.
Where is it in now, and what is it?
Well, I think we don't know.
Well, we do. It could all be measured. It's all measured. The amount, and it's been this way for several hundred years, right? The amount of CO2 in the atmosphere, and it's been higher before the Industrial Revolution, is less than half of 1%. It's 0.04%. Now, of that 0.04%, the best that we can measure, because it's such a small amount, that we produce, from our so-called emissions, is 3% of that. So 97% of it is from decay, the oceans, volcanoes, all natural occurring things. So to say that CO2 is the thing that's causing all the problems is like saying a flea fart on the back of a dog affects the dog. No, it doesn't. You see that big yellow thing in the sky? That is what causes global warming. We've had ice ages in the past, heating in the past, way before man even existed. Mm-hmm. So, they play these hoaxes on us to control us. Again, it's all about control of the resources. So now they can say, you got to control your carbon footprint. You got to drive this car, and we got to put smart meters in and gauge everything you do. And if you, again, become a bad citizen, we can always turn off that thermostat, or we can turn off that service. It's a trap. It's a trap to put us into it's called Agenda 21, now morphed into Agenda 2030. To take everybody out of the rural areas and put them into confined cities, put them in little 220-foot cubicles, which they control the entire environment. And we're stuck. Nobody owns anything anymore. Everybody's driving around in these blue bikes that nobody owns, right?
Yeah.
Your car itself will become common property. No one will own anything. You won't own a house. You'll be renting space all your life. So it's all about control. It's all about destroying us and controlling us because they know what's coming. What we have to do is wake up to this, and we're stopping it. They were supposed to be well on their way to killing several billion of us already. But in their own admission, they're about 18 years behind schedule. So we got a foothold. He wasn't supposed to get in. He was a cog in the wheel. They didn't expect him. If Hillary would have gotten in, we would have been on the way to this one world government. So the people are just undying, will to live and to thrive and to keep on striving for freedom against these people that have been trying to suppress us since the dawn of time. This is what's kept us alive this long. We will not give up. Our spirit will not give up. And America had that spirit. This is what America was born on, to break the change of the oligarchs, of the kings, and the people that thought they were above us. And I love Thomas Jefferson saying, he says, I trust the common man to come up with the solution to his problems better than any elitist could ever do. And that's what America is. That's what we're supposed to be. But every democracy along the way always gets corrupted because we become successful and we start giving up our liberties for security. And that never works, because once you give it up to the government, they never give it back without force.
Here we go. It's great to talk to you on the way.
Oh, it's a pleasure meeting you guys. Mr. Merry Success. Did I give you a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton? There you go, young lady. Yeah, go check out my YouTube channel. You guys will definitely be on it.
That'll be fun to watch and share.
Yes, and I wish you much success.
Can I get a portrait of you?
Absolutely. Of course you can, sir. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Nice to meet you.
It was a pleasure, sir. Yes.